Come on, you guys, let's go. Let's go. I don't care how shameless I am. PL Summer Series winners, let's get it. And obviously, I'm hoping that this little pre-season trophy lift is like a precursor of amazing things to come for next season. Because after seeing our performances in the PL Summer Series, my lord, do I have this newfound sense of optimism, confidence and hope. And for me, I feel like Pochettino, if there's one thing he's proven this PL Summer Series, is that he has this team cooking. This guy has us playing completely different football from anything I've seen in God knows how long. It's amazing work from Pochettino, and of course amazing work from our players, because these guys are buying into his ideas. They're enjoying life under him. They're working as hard as they can, and we're seeing the benefits now in the field. Because I think we have to say this, we will have to agree upon this, but wow, we're playing some attacking football. Aren't we playing some football, my friends? And you guys know, if you've been watching me for a long time, I'm a bit of a purist. If I'm going to be investing my time every week watching my teams play, at least let me enjoy the games I'm watching. So I'm a very happy man because of Pochettino and my friends. In today's match review of our 2-0 win against Fulham, I mean, there's so many positives. I'm going to discuss Pochettino, I'm going to discuss the team, I'll talk about guys like Hall, Nkunku, of course, Andre Santos as well too, because this kid's going to be a surprise for next season, yeah? He's showing some special things during pre-season, plus just tons of observations throughout the games. My friends, I hope you guys enjoy. Hit that like button if you guys are impressed by the attacking football we are seeing under Pochettino. Let's go crazy with the like button. My friends, compare our performances against Fulham last season to what we saw tonight. Yes, I know it's pre-season, but it's the nature in which we're attacking, how we're playing, and how completely alien we're doing things now compared to last season. And I'm fully here for it. So of course, tons of things to discuss today. Hit that like button. But before we continue on, today's video is brought to you by OneFootball. Download OneFootball to see all the latest stats, performances, lineup news, and all that good stuff during our preseason games. As you guys can see on screen, let's actually look at the statistical breakdown of the game real quick. We can see the lineup here. Bit of a surprise that we saw Barstow starting up front, but I think Pochettino wants to see Nkunku playing on the left. Obviously, going back to the stats here, we can see Nkunku was voted the best player of the game. We see the match events here, and we see the possession as well. I like the fact that we don't have to dominate with 60, 65 plus possession anymore. It makes the game a bit like one-note in that sense, and I kind of feel like by reducing our possession demands, we're a lot more dynamic, free, and a lot more entertaining in my opinion. And as you guys can see here, look at the shots, 13 against Fulham's 9. Shots on target, the accuracy, etc, etc, etc. So my friends, download OneFootball. You'll find a link below in the description and in the QR code on screen too. Now to start with things, I want to discuss this observation that kind of hit me as I was watching the game today. Obviously, during Pochettino's press conferences before he actually, started managing his first games for us, we already had an idea behind his training methods, his style, and what he hopes to get out of his training sessions. As we know, the Gaston test, intense running and cardio and endurance work, and the whole aim of this work is to get these guys acting as a team and working together. And that was always playing on my mind, because if that's what the manager is hoping to do, how does that necessarily translate on the field? And I think in this game today against Fulham, it was demonstrated to an absolute T, because wow, we are like Pochettino's pack. If you look at the positioning of our team from defense, midfield and attack, these guys are so close together. And my God, this team does everything together. We're defending off the ball in our own half. Look how deep the strikers come. The strikers on the halfway line looking to win the ball back again and try and kickstart a counter-attack. Look at the work you see from everyone who comes back in compact positions in deeper areas. And then when it comes to the build-up phase, we are still that compact block together. We're that compact block moving up the fields as a team. And for me, this is why Pochettino decides to use a mid-block when it comes to defending off the ball. And that's for a multitude of reasons. It's about funneling the opposition team into those middle areas so our guys can quickly hunt impacts, win that ball back. And because the distances aren't far apart from guys to find each other with passes, this is why we look so effective on the transition and on the breakaway as well too. And then when it comes to the offensive phase, when it comes to our attacking game, my friends. You see everything actually come to life. You see combination plays, you see 1-2s, you see quick passing passages, and my God, do you see extremely fast breakaways on the left hand side and the right hand side too. And this culminates in chances that we just have not been able to create over the past few seasons. Look at that second goal that was scored by Nkunku. That was great play by Chukwuemeka to not only win possession back, because as a team, we already had guys hunting the Fulham players down to win that ball back. Carnes wins it, gets past two players, forces the save from the keeper, and of course, Nkunku is there for the rebound. But it's those simple goals that we haven't been seeing for a long time. Because with this football, it encourages guys to make those third-man runs, make those late arrivals inside the books. There's constant options everywhere. There are non-stop passing options for players to combine with. And for me, that is the most important thing, because if you're playing against teams that have been killing us recently, they're teams that sit back and park the bus. You need to be able to beat that by having a more relationist way of breaking these teams down, which essentially means you need to have your guys close together for combination plays. They have to be like on certain parts of the pitch together as a team to play through that press and then find someone free on the opposite side. And throughout this game today, we were seeing Raheem Sterling having tons of space, tons of breakaways on the right hand side because of this way of playing. And we saw the same thing in the second half on the left hand side. Of course, Maatsen, Hall, and of course Angelo doing the same thing on the right hand side too. This is how you play football. If you want to score goals, if you want to create opportunities, if you want to be a team that isn't like just so predictable and just easy to figure out. And this is why I'm so happy that the boards and the transfer team decided to hire Pochettino, because his ideas, they best complement this young, exciting attacking team. So that was the main takeaway I got from the entirety of this game. Anyway, my friends, let me break down some of the main talking points from the game today. And I want to start with Christopher Nkunku. Now, over the past games in this tournament, he has played in different positions. He has played certain games up front, he has played more in behind, and he has played on the left hand side. Obviously, Pochettino wants to fully assess Nkunku in like all different phases and aspects of the game. For me, let this guy have full creative freedom to be in all these zones and areas, just constantly interchanging with his teammates around him. That's the way to do things. But I'm looking at this guy play and I kind of feel, and I tweeted this, you would be crazy not to have him in your FPL team for next season, because this guy is here to score goals. Look at the positions he takes up. Look at how he sets up his teammates. You know, I think Enzo Fernandez should have buried that opportunity that Nkunku perfectly set up for him. We've seen him make that same square pass constantly at RB Leipzig. So it's finally nice to see a player that we've seen do bits in other teams bring that same type of game, that same type of ability to our team. It's been a long time since we've seen that, but I think Nkunku is going to be a key player. Not only is he going to be on the end of these moves, he's going to create moves as well too. He's going to help us with our combination and link-up play, and this guy has the threat as well to make those runs in behind, and of course lead and spearhead attacks. So I'm so happy with the signing. I mean, for years I've really wanted Nkunku to come. It's a little bit surreal actually seeing him here, but my lord, this guy is a proper world-class football player, and he's been one of the most impressive players for me, you know, in the US preseason tour. Now, for this next player, his performances have been growing and growing and growing every single game, and you guys probably know this is Andre Santos. Now, at 19 years old, we all knew the hype behind him. It was a massive surprise when this transfer was announced. We knew the club were desperate to try and bring him into the squads last season, but obviously the work permit denied that. But we've been hearing a lot of things about this guy's potential and the massive hopes the club have for him. I think so far he's showing us glimpses, and he's showing us most definitely what his potential is about. Because wow, this guy looks very mature for his age. I mean, not only is he physically amazing for a 19-year-old, but it's that sense of experience and composure that he plays with. I mean, he has a very responsible role in the team. He's kind of like our midfield enforcer right now, and I think he's doing that job incredibly well. He's doing very well in screening our defense. He's doing really well in helping us win that midfield battle. He throws his body into challenges. He uses his body to win balls back. Constant recoveries as well too, to keep the flow of our game ticking, and it keeps helping us play forwards and forwards. He never gets caught in possession. He plays really quickly as well too, and to be playing with this type of experience for a 19-year-old who's only just coming out to the Premier League, He's really exciting me, and I kind of feel like for sure he's most definitely getting tons of game time next season. Andre Santos looks like he might be the real deal. So, wow, another amazing performance from him. Like, I made this comparison about how I feel like Santos might be like our Brazilian Bellingham. And I made that comparison based on the fact that this guy is effective in all phases, like deeper in the middle. And he can attack as well too. As he grows and develops even more, this guy is one of those midfield players that really dominates the midfield, and it's going to be a very exciting journey to watch this guy develop. Another player that really excited me today too was Mr. Chukwuemeka. He's been growing and growing himself too throughout these games, and I think this game today was a very satisfying, exciting performance. Obviously, he made the second goal for Nkunku, but it was his overall game, and I think one of the reasons why he looks a lot more effective, in my opinion, is that off the ball, he has more confidence in terms of where he has to be, in terms of attacking and in terms of defending. Of course, we know that this guy has some beautiful footwork. He can swivel, he can receive on the half side, he can drive, he can take on opponents. He has that in his game. And now it's about just being a bit more effective with all your skill sets now in the final third. So, of course, I think that second goal deserves a ton of credit. Of course, he won that pressure. You know, he recovered that ball in their half. He had the composure and skill to, create the shot for himself. And of course, a bit of fortune then fell into Nkunku. But you don't make your luck in football. If you set the team up right, you take advantage of opportunities like that. So I would like to see more of him. I wouldn't mind if he stayed, but realistically, that might not happen. I'm curious to know what the future is around Chukwuemeka. But all I have to say is we have to be very careful. If we do loan him, we have to loan him to the right club, because this kid can also be absolutely clear in the future. I'm going to end things by just giving some more general thoughts about the game. Second half, we continue to create a lot of opportunities in the transition and the counter-attack, and that really excites me, because there's been stats over the past 2 years. We haven't scored a counter-attacking goal. You know how bad that is? We haven't scored counter-attacking goals. Like, I'm watching Alien Football right now, and seeing like the skills of guys like Lewis Hall with that like really special, like sexy ass skill he did, where quick feet got past 2-3 guys and then won the free kick for us. Another guy where he's very unfortunate that Cucurella was signed, because I think in the future we have to really strongly assess the quality we have now, because we have to try and limit these silly mistakes. I think Cucu's a decent player, but I think realistically, because there's no market for him, he will be here for at least one more season. And if that is the case, I'd rather Lewis Hall is getting first team minutes for a good team, so he comes back next season even ready to try and win that spot for himself. He was good. Nicholas Jackson was good. He wasn't able to get a goal today. I was, quite unlucky. He was close. An amazing Lewis Hall cross, of course. But his body shape was a bit off. He couldn't really connect with the shot then and wrap his foot around the ball. He nearly scored by creating an opportunity with his silky footwork. I mean, this footwork is going to cause a lot of Premier League defenders issues, because we know that most Prem defenders, they're not coming up against strikers that have footwork like this. Look what Isak's been doing in the Premier League last season. He's been making these men look like fools throughout. So I feel like Jackson's going to come in and do similar things. But one thing that really impressed me too is this guy's work rate off the ball. Like, if we're going to be this mid-block team, it means the guys up front, they have to put that work in. If on the halfway line, they need to, win their tackles. They need to win turnovers to kickstart counter-attacks, They have to win balls in the middle third and the final third. And Jackson does all these things to a T. I really like this signing. I'm really liking most of these signings as well too, my friends. Anyway, my friends, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving, but I'm just really impressed by how promising this whole team's looking under Pochettino, how quickly they bought into ideas, and just how threatening and dangerous we look now. I was really curious to see how he'd adapt during the US preseason tour, and I wasn't expecting us to adapt this quickly. And now it has me optimistic for next season, knowing the fact that we don't have any European football to distract us. I don't want to start getting carried away and jinxing things at all, but it's nice that all the hard work paid off today by picking up and winning this preseason trophy. And let's hope now these guys can continue that and bring this type of form and energy now into the new season. So my friends, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm Nini FC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.